What's going on, everyone? I am DeFi Shaun, and you are watching the very first episode of Moon Monday, where we are going to talk all things a lunar pump. And make sure you go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this to everyone that you can possibly think to share it to, so that we can get everyone involved with the conversation. Unfortunately, like last Friday, Joe is still traveling. He actually got home a little bit later, just got off his plane, so he unfortunately can't make it. But I do have Rebel Matt and our guy Mike joining me, especially for any technical questions that you guys may have. We can go ahead and get them answered, because it's always good when we can have one of the devs there, which doing it at a later time definitely allows him to do that. As far as Lunar Pump goes, though, we are doing this week. The devs are working on V2. I said it last week. With V2, we are going to have that very cool redesign, which I'll go ahead and bring that back up, and everyone kind of get a look at what that redesign is going to look at. There's a multitude of different things going on. As you can see, some of the stuff's a little bit off right here on the hot stage, so that's going to make sure to get that addressed. It's going to be more of a dark theme. I know Mike loves more of the dark theme, along with everyone else. That seems to be the common consensus, that everyone wants to see more of a dark theme. Because you remember, when we designed this, it was only an Infineon product, so that's why it has this look to it. Now that we're going multi-chain EVM, of course, we have Binance, we have Base, and of course we have Infineon. We definitely want it to be more friendly towards all the themes of all the blockchains, not just Infineon. And yeah, overall, it's been a pretty good week. Of course, the market is crap right now, as everyone knows. Everyone's kind of bearish. Everyone's trading out of everything, dumping everything, so there's nothing huge going on. We were actually going to have a pretty big token launch today. They decided to postpone it, so we'll be talking about that hopefully here in another episode coming up here very shortly, so we get some more projects coming off of Pump Fund, or Lunar Pump, excuse me. And then as far as the upgrades go, in case I didn't mention it yet, our Friday, we are going to have, again, that redesign, and then we are going to have our fair launch option coming up. And if the developers get to a point where we feel comfortable on Infineon Friday, we might give the details of exactly how that fair launch is going to work. If not, we're going to aim for next week's Moon Monday to go ahead and give those details. The goal is to have it done this week, test over the weekend, and hopefully go live next week. Anyone that deals with Web3 knows how that goes. Developers fall behind. There's issues that you run into that you weren't expecting to, and things kind of get pushed back. That's why we never give hard dates, but we are going to get this V2 rolled out as fast as we possibly can to kind of get that new look. There's also going to be, we don't know the name of it yet, but a hackathon type event that we're going to put on to really start pushing this to the masses, to entice developers to develop, to entice people to refer, and different things like that. So stay tuned for details on that. Again, hopefully by next Moon Monday, we can go ahead and announce that. But yeah, Mike, Matt, if one of you guys want to come up, or both of you want to say anything, say what's up to the community, we can kind of see if we got some questions going on. And I can also get some of these designs pulled up so you guys can see exactly what that's going to look like in case you missed Infinity Friday.
To the moon.
Let's
Hello, everyone. Hello. I don't have much to say. I'm just bullish for the next updates. And as Shaun just said, black is beautiful. We really need a dark design. And I can't wait for the bullish updates. I try to not say too much right now because I don't want to destroy anything. Oh, you're leaking it. You leak it. But go ahead. Matt, say something. And hello, community. We'll love you all.
Yeah, how's everybody going? Yeah, like Shaun said, we're really looking forward to getting this V2 out, as soon as possible. All things being equal, we'll get that testing done this weekend and be ready to go. It's a pretty big upgrade. Full UI designs and everything changed up. Then, of course, introducing our fair launch system, uh, and a lot more to come after that. I mean, it's never ending. We've already got probably V3 and V4 already scheduled, of stuff that we're coming up with. So it's getting really exciting. Having a hackathon type event that we're going to do should really bring a lot of eyes, a lot of developers to the platform. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be rolling out as we push forward that is just going to entice everyone to come to our platform to really show it off and show what it can do.
Yep, and Matt made a really good point. So the way we're operating this, again, we put a lot of effort, a lot of money, and a lot of time into LunarPump. It is definitely our flagship product, and the way it's working is we are developing again V2 right now with the redesign and with the fair launch option. And I just say fair launch option because the name we picked, in my opinion, is really cool, and we don't want to kind of give the name away until we actually give the exact details on it. But while we're doing that, we're actually getting the designers that we have designing V3 and the stuff that we're going to be using. So while the devs are building out V2, we'll also be getting V3 design. So as soon as V2 is built and designed, the devs can go ahead and start hooking up V3. While V3 is getting hooked up, the designer will be designing V4 and so on and so forth, just moving it along as fast as humanly possible. Because again, there's so many new options that we're introducing that Pump Fund and other launch pads simply do not have. So it's something that, again, that we're just moving right along. And the look of it, in my opinion, very clean. We still have that green integration of, because again, this is an Infineon product at the end of the day, but we have the black background with the green outlook. We got some of the yellow mixed in. This is the Infineon presale, which, speaking of Infineon, presale ends in 10 days from today. There's a new promo code INF40 at 40%. Once that runs out, we'll probably drop that down to 30. So if you're interested in getting into that, make sure you do that before those codes run dry. And this is going to be the main page right here. Then you also get onto it when you click on the token. You got the price. Let's get a little bit closer so everyone can see it a little bit better. You got the price, you got the market cap, you got the liquidity, you got the total volume, you got the token creation, so you know how long it's been there. You have the charting, we have trades, we have comments, we have all of the holders, everything like this. It just looks really good, really clean. We're definitely happy with this new design. Again, the first design was a minimum viable product or an MVP product. And again, the goal is to get everything new rolled out as fast as humanly possible. And we would have probably did this redesign, but again, we had to start somewhere. We didn't want to push it back another week or two just waiting for a redesign. Again, we had to roll out something eventually because we could have pushed it back for months on end trying to get everything done. Overall, it's producing pretty good revenue. I don't have an exact number. I do know like the NFT money and everything like that is definitely being put aside. So for all of those that have the bits, that will be coming here shortly. And let's see if we have any questions. And like I said, we have Matt here, so definitely take advantage if anyone has any technical questions. So let's see. First, for many small chains, part of the reason they don't get adoption is they don't have utility building on the chain. While I'm well aware of all the utility you guys have built, great job, by the way. And yes, I mean, you kind of have to have something to bring people to the chain as well. Again, LunarPump is something that we're pumping, no pun intended, a lot of money into to kind of get that recognition. We want to get people using this platform. And again, like I said, once we get users on the platform, it'll be a lot easier to convert people over to Infineon by offering, maybe zero bonding fees or giving the full bonding fee to the project that bonds. There's just so many different things that we can do. But LunarPump getting marketed will also be Infineon getting marketed as well. And again, this was kind of the idea that we came up to draw attention to the platform because again, everyone knows with a blockchain, just launching a blockchain, it's extremely hard to get adoption. And like Mark and a couple of different people say, like the conversations we have, even if Infineon doesn't get crazy adoption, but LunarPump absolutely explodes, doing millions of dollars in volume a day. Again, it pumps the whole ecosystem. So no matter what, Infineon, blockchain, and the native token will benefit from a successful LunarPump, even if it doesn't mean translate millions of users over to Infineon. So it's kind of a win-win no matter what, as long as the platform does have some good level of success.
Yeah, and that's also the beauty of everything, that's the beauty of our whole ecosystem. Everything goes back to the ecosystem, to the community. And I mean, if a LunarPump fund goes wild, Infineon goes wild, so many opportunities, and we would never limit us to one blockchain. It's just great to have LunarPump available for more blockchains, and we will add some more over the time.
Yeah, we'll definitely be adding blockchains. So it takes about a week to add a blockchain to it. And again, there's some just really important stuff like the fair launch option, like the redesign. It's kind of not any really secret. The next big thing we'll be working on is staking. So it's just very important that we get a couple of these major things rolled out, and then we can start kind of focusing our attention on getting that next blockchain launched. Could potentially even have some votes on it and see exactly where everyone wants to go next. We do need to decide on a name, guys, for the social platform, because with the hackathon, which we may not actually be calling it a hackathon, we're kind of discussing the name of it. But probably one of the ways that we're going to go about it for choosing winners and different things, especially because it'll cut out bots and ways of cheating, will probably be requiring people to vote on the LunarPump social media site. So you actually have to get on, create an account, cut out the bots and everything like that. And again, just minimize cheating so everyone kind of has that fair chance to go ahead. But yeah, we do need to decide on a name, no doubt with that. With V2, will we have the ability to see bonded tokens in their contract edges? I have to double check with Mark. I know we were talking about it. Obviously, we need to be able to see those bonded tokens so people can, see what's bonded, how many are bonded, all that stuff. I'm not 100% sure if it was there. I know the redesign was the main option with that fair launch, but I'll double check that. Let's see. So let's go ahead. I'll actually pull that up. Give me 1 second, get my screen. And yes, again, like everything else, of course, we saw some dips with Moonboy, but Moonboy is the mascot of LunarPump, and he is going everywhere that we're going. Let me bring you back up on stage, Matt. He's going everywhere that we're going. It's going to be something that we continually push. Remember, don't know where the market cap's at now. It was launched at a 2,000 market cap, so it's still well above launch. Again, the 12% pretty much that was bought was locked. The floor is pretty good, pretty secure, and we'll go from there. But let me see, check this DM real quick.
Yeah, I was just got home, so it was switching my Wi-Fi, so it kicked me out. Either way, I just want to mention earlier before you jumped into the Moonboy and all that stuff, talking about the lunar pump itself. We've been reached out and asked by a bunch of different people as well as developers. Why on our platform you cannot transfer tokens once you buy them, right? So I wanted to kind of bring that up in this first deal so people understood why. This is not Solana. Solana works totally different than EVM. On EVM, you've got your DEX and your liquidity pools. If somebody can move tokens, they can add a liquidity pool to a DEX. So technically, if they were allowed to transfer tokens, they could buy on LunarPump, immediately add LP onto, PancakeSwap or Uniswap or whichever DEX that's on that chain, and then that token would be live trading there. So there you have bots that can set and go back and forth and steal the money out of the LunarPump and everything else. So that's EVM in a nutshell. You can't have tokens move until you've got LPN. Otherwise, you're in big trouble. Just figured I'd bring that up.
Yeah, I'm very happy you brought that up, so that people kind of understand it.
Yeah, me too.
Why you can't. Yep. So a lot of people were asking that question during the week about exactly why that couldn't happen. And again, it's a very good reason. Like Matt said, it's not the same as Solana. But Mike, do you have something to say?
No. I'm just happy Matt talked about this because I had a lot of conversations with, let's say, Degen devs, and it's pretty normal that they all try to buy early. The Degen space is it's pretty wild, and they also buy big bags, they split it and everything, and they use sniper bots and so on. And this is this common sense, especially on Solana, and On EVM chains, it's different. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day Solana, LunarPump Fund, we will see more. But right now we are on EVM chains, and one thing you will definitely see is sooner or later, Sniper bot. It will bring volume to the chain, and I know there are some people working on it. I get messages from developers. Is there already a sniper bot for Infinium, for Lunar Pump Fun as a whole? And yeah, people want to be early because of course they can make money with a sniper bot, but they also bring volume to the block to Lunar Pump Fun, which is always cool. But yeah, with our new features, um, the community has way more options than to let's say to buy early to be the first. Yeah, but I need to be careful again. I don't know, Shaun, what you gonna leak today, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
up to you, man.
yeah, nothing major. So the next thing I did want to touch on is we did run a competition. Speaking of Moon Boy, the winner did receive 1 million Moon, and I actually do have the winner, Dara Damala, if that's how I'm saying it right. That is the winner of the 1 million. Just so everyone knows, again, we always like to make sure that we're delivering, and everyone knows we're delivering on our promises whenever we have these competitions. Same thing's going to go with the hackathon. When we give X amount of funds that we're giving away for a winner, it will definitely happen. So always like to point that out. Getting back to the questions, and that's actually what I just went over. Everyone probably is fashionably late. Remember, when there's no Joe, it means that we start on time. Just want to throw that out there. Baby Draco, shout out to Baby Draco. I think our first token to buy on LunarPump Fund, if I'm not mistaken, is back at almost 30K now. And it looks like we may have a question for Matt. What you explained, Matt, about moving tokens on LunarPump Fund using Cyberbot, should we explain this as a strength of LunarPump Fund somewhere? Example, LunarPump Fund website, etc. Oh, Matt actually dropped off. Matt must be having some Wi-Fi issues.
I think so, but he can write in the chat. I am pretty sure he's there. I mean, we can let him answer that, but yeah, I mean, we can always have some kind of information on the site that you can't split the bags. This is something we can
Yeah.
do,
So
especially on the EVM chains.
yeah, and it's like I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness. In my opinion, it's more of a strength because it makes you have that transparency. Right now, the way it's set up is, all the wallets can be split on Solana. And then, of course, if you're not diving in, like deep diving, you won't even realize that, 10 of those wallets are owned by the same person. This kind of puts a stop to that. If the dev makes a huge buy, you can track that wallet. If a regular person, a regular holder makes a big buy, you can track that wallet. So it does make it a little bit more transparent, not being able to do that. So yeah, again, putting a disclaimer, just kind of letting people know how that works. Would it be the worst idea? I see Matt is back. And yeah, guys, keep the questions coming. We got at least another 9 minutes. We can go to especially like I said, any technical questions you have. I hate when technical questions are asked and we have to get back to you later because we don't have Matt and our Mark to go ahead and answer that. So always good to get those questions out while we can.
Yeah, I see that question. Yeah, I can definitely touch on the strengths of that. And a lot of developers, I say I don't even call them developers. I'll call them DGN, whatever. Um, they like to be able to buy a bunch of supply to start. They like to move it around to many wallets. That way they can, scalp some money off of it to pay for this or pay for that or pay for their pocket or they're out to eating or whatever they're doing. Just I ain't trying to down anybody. I'm just saying that's just how it works, right? So this way, this system, even if we could allow tokens to be transferred, we wouldn't do it, right? Because we want transparency. We want people to see where the tokens are going. So when somebody buys on the platform, that wallet that bought, they're in that wallet and they show on that wallet. If that wallet decides to sell some, that's up to that wallet, but they don't get moved till after it gets onto the DEX. But yes, we'll probably we probably need to notate that on the site, just to kind of make it fully aware that you cannot move tokens until it's bonded and on the DEX, just for kind of a safeguard to let people know. But it definitely is a perk. Let's put it that way. You'll see a lot less shady stuff going on this way than you do on Pump Fund and how they work. Just saying.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, like the insight. And Crypto Knight seems to be leading the Kryptonite, Mike. You're losing that battle, buddy. Because if I'm not mistaken, this is designed after you, right, Mike? The Kryptonite?
Yeah, I think so. It was Crypto Knight's brother-in-law. Yeah, I mean, I need to start pushing this. I need to push this a bit. Hey guys, everyone, get a bag of the Kryptonaut. Choose the evil side. That's the best side. I mean, also the colors are way better. I mean, look at the Kryptonite. He's boring and it's the yellow and everything. Definitely get a bag of Kryptonaut and choose my side. I will support only this side. And I won't speak with anyone else anymore in the future. So get a bag of Kryptonauts.
I just thought of this too. I figured I ought to bring it up since we were talking about the transferring and all that stuff. Now that you know that you cannot transfer tokens, don't buy 10%. Don't buy 15% of tokens when it first launches.
Yep.
You're completely wrecking the chances of somebody else buying, to be honest. Who wants to jump in when they see a huge bag sitting there already bought, right?
Yep.
And again, that's something that we're might be working for options on. I'll keep that at that. But either way, just be smart about it. If you're wanting to rack up and get you a good percent, use multiple wallets. It's not going to hurt you to buy a little bit in this wallet, buy a little bit in this wallet, buy a little bit in that wallet. The while it's on Lunar Pump, you're only talking about what, a 50,000 market cap at most before it leaves. You're still way early. Yeah, you can not be the first buy or not be the second buy and still be okay. So just keep that in mind. Respect the projects. Try to help them move. This is all for our platform, and we're trying to grow it, and we want every token that deploys to get started, get going, get bonded, go onto the decks, and then have a good day. So just keep that in mind. Be respectful.
Yeah, exactly. And if you like a project that you're really trying to get behind, buying that big of a percent, you're hurting it more than anything. So you definitely want to, if you want multiple percents, then yeah, it would definitely be a good idea to split it. But I'm just finish this off, Mike. You're all right. Kryptonite's like, he's the Boy Scout. And then you got this guy over here. So again, this is the one Mike is supporting. Let's see what kind of sway he has, if he can make up that 10% to kind of catch back up. And then, yeah, shout out to Crypto Knight. It's a really cool idea that he had. I really like it. Coming on over, though. So for the meme contest, is it one winner or 10 winners? So it's a multiple winners. So it's the first is 1 million, which I just announced the winner. We'll go ahead and get all the address. The second is 600,000 moon. Third is 300,000 moon. And then fourth through 10th get 50,000. So we'll go ahead and get that up. So yes, it is a total of 10 winners to go ahead and get that question answered. And let's see, we have a few more minutes, guys. So if you want to go ahead and get those questions in, we'll go ahead and get them answered. And yes, options for buy limits. So Matt can answer on this too. I want to say we were discussing limits on the platform, and Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. And then once it bonds and leaves the platform, it would open up to unlimited limits, I believe, is the initial discussion we were kind of having about it.
Yeah, that's correct. It would only be while on Lunar Pump that it has limits, and those are going to be optional. Everything we're doing is optional for the dev that's deploying the project. So he will have multitudes of options, from the new fair launch system that we got coming out, to a bunch of other stuff that we have coming. That's going to be all dev decisions. right? So he needs to decide what he's trying to do to make those decisions. If he's already got a community established, he might want to go with the fair launch setup. He might want to set limits. He might want to, do this or that. So keeping that in mind, we want to give all the options possible to the dev that's creating the project. And it's a matter of just a click and choose. He'll have those options when it deploys. And like I said, when it hits the DEX, all that, wallet restrictions, all that different stuff, that goes away because it's not going to be used on the actual token itself.
Yep, exactly. We're trying to give everyone the options to do what you want to do. We're trying not to limit anything. Like Matt said, it can be fair. It can just be standard. Everything from different binding curves, everything. Yep. Go ahead, Mike.
Which is very, very important, especially, as you said, the different bonding curves, they are very bullish. And also the, what Matt just said, the fair launch. I'm careful there. It's something amazing and new. And so devs will have different options. And if someone, right now, as Matt said, we have no snipers and stuff. And yes, buy a normal bag, buy with 2 wallets. Normally you have time. It will change over time, and we'll see sniper bots, we will see quick tradings and way more volume in the future. Right now it's a very early beginning, and it's just smooth. Of course, we know not many projects are able to bond in the early days, but this will change very, very soon, especially with all the marketing campaigns we are planning. Yeah, something great is coming. It will be amazing.
Yep, I've almost slipped on the name like more time since
just one thing about the messages you just this Kryptonite guy. No way. Just don't believe in this man. He is the real evil. Okay, so ignore this guy, Kryptonite. I will unmod him. I think he's not legit. No, not good.
Because everyone knows you should trust this guy right here. Just look at him. It's definitely a trustworthy face.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, guys, but yeah, go ahead, get any last minute questions in. We'll be going ahead and shutting it down. Moon Mondays will probably be about a 30-minute episode. I know a lot of time Infinity on Fridays run about an hour. Just kind of a really fun day to kind of get on, talk about the platform. Like I said, we were supposed to have a big launch today. Market kind of messed that up, but we're actually going to have the project people that launch the project. We're actually going to have them on to talk about it as well. So we're going to do different things like that, getting people that launch on our platform that we know are kind of launched with the correct criteria. We're not just going to push anything and everything that launches on this platform, because at the end of the day, it's just a platform. Anyone can do and launch any project they want on it. And but yeah, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're right at that 30-minute mark. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining the very first episode of Moon Monday. We're going to go ahead, just like Infinity on Friday, and do this every single Monday. But that will do it for this episode. I will see you guys Friday. And until next time, trade safe.